Welcome back to another Million Lords video. So, I didn't post a video last week because I was busy and whatnot, and didn't feel like it. I don't feel like posting this video either, to be honest, but I promised I would, at least in my Discord server. I said I would, so I'm going to count this as the two last giveaways put together. So, whoever commented on my last Warfare Wednesday, you have 4 chances to get in, I guess. And as you can see, there's a total amount of 22 unique comments, so you have a 1 in 5 chance of winning. So pretty decent. It's just for 20 speed boost, so like what would that be? Like a 400 sapphire value, I think. Yeah, 400 sapphire value. So nothing crazy. My last, there was like 10 different codes, and so 5 of them were speed boost, or like the speed boost. So the other codes got taken because they're a bit nicer, but whatever. I'm gonna pick a winner here. Again, if you get chosen, then just join my Discord server, which will be linked in the description of this video, and then message my Grey God account, and I will DM you back when I get the chance. I'm gonna be gone this weekend, so I might not be able to get to you till next week. But yeah, just message me and I will get you that code. So congratulations, Freak Gaming, first winner. I'm gonna pick another winner here. Game Woo is the second winner of this. I'm gonna do 2 more. Elken actually won already, so unfortunately, Elken, you can't get another code, but we'll pick another one here. Cozy ASMR. Congratulations on winning. We're gonna have one more winner here. Just pick that, and then we'll get back or get into the actual video. Mr. Beast Plays, thank you for commenting. You unfortunately won already as well, so we'll grab that last winner. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna let people win twice. Danger Zone. Help me join your clan. That was last season, unfortunately. I didn't get back to you on that. I think my clan is full, but congratulations on winning Danger Zone. You're the last winner. So that makes 4 total. And now let's get into the video. All right, so this won't be my Warfare Wednesday video for 2 reasons. One is because it's so early in the season, and I'm really just clearing through level 1 cities and just trying to get the event done for the for the gem at the end, which they added last season. So I'm gonna be doing that for every event, and I'm really just hitting level 1 cities, which isn't very fun to watch me do for an hour or whatever it would be. So I'm saving you guys from that, and instead I'm just going over the update and a couple like strategies that I'm thinking of using this season. And I will say that you can use these strategies whether you're free to play or pay to win, but the strategy that I go over last is going to be pretty heavily pay to win if you're going to optimize it fully. So it's kind of a variant from what I normally do, which I kind of just cover play styles that I personally can do and hopefully that you guys can do. But one of these will be pretty heavily pay to win. So let's get into it. Of course, what I do recommend, especially since if you're in Diamond League, I do recommend getting all the events done for the gems, and easiest way to do that is to simply run through level 1 cities. Now, as you can see, I'm pretty low level right now. I actually did get up to around level 60 earlier because I was testing out a different strategy. Turned out it didn't really work that well, but I'll go over it so you guys don't try to copy it or do it. Maybe you thought of it yourself and you're like, would this work? And I did, and it didn't. So I tested it out. But what I would recommend is getting the events done if you're in Diamond League and above. I kind of think that Legend League would have the same thing where you can complete events and get gems as well. But to do that simply is take level 1 cities or low level cities, and that's really the best way because with the new update, what it has is like military power instead of your KP determining if you are able to attack someone or what experience amount you're able to get from them. And so if I hit higher level cities, I would level quicker and then I would be at higher troop count and then would not be able to hit these lower level people. Now, when you are looking at your military power, there's no tab for it. I don't know why. And even like when you zoom out, it doesn't really let you see military power. It shows you KP and troop count. But even when you look on your profile, it doesn't show military power. The only way to see it in game, which I think this is stupid, I think they should have placed it somewhere else. This is like I do like this update personally, but one thing that I definitely don't like is how military power is displayed. It's not displayed anywhere, and you can't even like look at someone's profile to see it. The only way to see it is when you're launching an attack. You can see here the 14K or 14.3K for me and the 28.1K for that person. That's their military power. And there's not even a leaderboard for military power. It's just your KP still, which is fine. I wouldn't mind having a military power leaderboard, even if it's separate, but yeah, it's whatever. So, as I was saying, like, because it's so heavily based on troops, and a very high portion of it is because how it's calculated, at least how people have calculated it and told me about it, is basically if you take your current KP minus 3.29 thousand K, whatever you want to say, and then you add it to your total troop count, which is 155, you get 158.29 KP. And then you divide by 8, and that is what your military power is. But for me currently, and that gives me 19.7. I think I'm less than that. So it might be also dependent on, I'd have to do more calculation. It might be dependent on level as well, like what level you're at for like what troops you should have. And then also earlier, I was looking and I had only one city, and yet, and it was a low level city, or it was actually it was a level 50 city. I had one city, and I was at like a total of 3,000 KP, and I'll post the screenshots. But it was saying that I had 7K KP, so I don't know. I think it's a little bit messed up, so it's not a exact science, but you can kind of do the addition and whatnot yourself and try to figure that out. But troops are much more a part of the military KP or military might or military power, whatever the fuck it's called. Much more a part of it than your actual KP. So this makes it so you can run through an entire person's cities without losing or without knocking them down a demo. And I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place, but you can basically do the same thing that you always do for Million Lords. Like you can, or like I could, for example, how you've seen in other videos, I could start low and attack high, but because now it's based off military KP, or I don't know why I keep saying military KP instead of military power, because it's like MP military power, whatever. All right, so because it's based off military power or might or whatever, then you don't necessarily have to attack low anymore. You can hit the highest person that you can and run through them, and there's really no negative to it. So that's interesting. You can level a bit faster off that, but once you do reach around their troop count, they're going to be 100% experience for a longer time. And they can also, run through your cities down till you're just at your main city. So it's kind of almost worth leveling your main city pretty high if you want, I guess. It's not necessary, but likely you'll be waking up in the morning a lot more and you'll be at just your main city because they can hit you down that far without demoing you. And while we're on the topic, you can send 2 demos now, so people can demo you faster if they are a lot higher. So I do like that because it does take a long time to demo. And if you don't have crazy high stats, much longer, so that is nice. I think it's to 2 separate cities, though. You can't demo the same city. But I haven't tested that either, so I'm not sure. So basically my strategy is going to be staying the same, which is like kind of pathetic to say it's even a strategy, but I'm going to do a lot of the same thing. And pretty much what I will not be changing is, or what I will be changing is like, I don't really have to hit low, for instance, I would initially hit the pink person or the red person first, or if I could hit the pink person, and then I'd work my way up through the different KPs of the island till I'm at the highest KP. But because it's based off military power, as long as I'm not leveling too fast, then I can simply hit whoever I want. So I would maybe recommend hitting like lower level cities, but not necessarily lower KP players. So working up from level versus KP, just because you will possibly level too quickly if you hit just the highest level cities you can take, and won't be able to hit everyone that you can. So what you really want to do, I think one of the things that I normally try to do, but it's even more important now because unless you're just stupidly active, because of how far people can knock your KP down, and of course KP is very related to your troop production with your idle recruiter. Because of how high your KP is relevant to your troop production, I believe it would be the smartest idea to boost your KP as high as possible before you bubble every night. So for the last hour, if I was, for reference, I would run through all these like level 40s, and I'd run through like these 60s up here, and maybe even get to the 75s if I leveled enough. All these other cities are kind of taken, so I wouldn't really worry about those. I might even hop off island. Let's see what we got around me. So a lot of people are bubbled right now, which is odd because yesterday was the end of the season, so normally people move their bubble to be at 6 hour mark, which would be like 50 minutes from now. Yeah, see, mine's the same, so it's 36 minutes. So then I might come over here and take these cities, or the 70s or 40s or whatever. But basically boost your KP as high as possible, dump your gold, sit in production, maybe even like set an alarm, try to log in I'm actually going to push my bubble back while I think of it so I can take cities later. But even like log in a couple hours and collect your troops that you made. Or even, don't dump your gold in your cities, dump it in your main city. So even though people do run through you and take out all your cities, you still have that KP holding you up a little bit and making idle production. And the reason I would say maybe set an alarm or like a timer, assuming it's not super early in the morning, to log back in is because when you're at a steady KP, your idle recruiter generally works all right. But if you drop KP, I could be at like 2 mil an hour, and then I log in 8 hours later and I collect like 1.7 mil after my KP dropped down to like nothing, because it's just not accurate. But if you're staying at a steady KP and you log in like after a couple hours, it's generally going to give you what you should get. So I think that's important. And normally I wouldn't save the neutrals around my main, but for one reason, I mean, it's like a perfect triangle, so that's kind of, I don't know, it's beautiful, right? It's a perfect triangle, pretty much, equilateral triangle. But also, because I am working on the events and actually plan on completing them, I do want to keep those as things to give me that extra 600, or not 600, like 300 upgrades, whatever it would be, working towards my event, finishing my event. Now, for the more pay-to-win strategy, I will say it requires you be pretty active, but it seems like a lot of the pay-to-win players are fairly active, so kind of works out. Also, it will... I kind of forget... Well, there's a few stipulations. Let me just like outline the strategy, and then I'll go through any details I might have missed. But basically, what you want to do is boost your KP as high as possible. And it doesn't matter really when you do it, but I would say there's two strategies you could kind of use. You could use it as like a almost a like semi bubble, because it will keep you kind of almost pink before your bubble, but it could also do it in the morning. So you could, I would think if you're bubbling, you're kind of getting off for the day. And so if you do this right before you bubble, then you'll have that same KP throughout your bubble, and hopefully it'll maintain for longer past your bubble, giving you time to, get up in the morning and do whatever you want. So I think that would be a good idea, but realistically you can do it anytime during the day. And so basically what you want to do is get to the highest KP possible. And this is only possible through the military power, with the new changes and whatnot. But what you want to do is get to the highest KP possible, then swap into all cautious items. Now, I will say, by highest KP possible, I really mean like attack as many cities as you can, and hopefully like throughout the day you've saved up gold and whatnot to dump in your cities. But also throughout this last step, it'll kind of give you gold as well. So assuming you've saved up a decent amount of gold throughout the day, or even the last couple hours, if you've been kind of recycling gold and you have a high salvager, so you're making it back, then all you want to do is take as many cities as you can around you before you bubble. So maybe in the last like half hour or so, or I mean, realistically you can do it whenever, but I feel like that's the most advantageous. Then you want to go into your cautious gear, which I assume you have all set. It's a little bit of work, but if you're only doing it a couple times a day, it doesn't matter. And then you want to equip, or you go into your defense gear, realistically. Then you want to equip all your cautious items. I'm just doing this as like a representation. If you're like working through an emulator on, I didn't equip that. If you're working through like a program where you can do it on your computer, it'd be a lot quicker. But you basically go through all your cautious items, you equip them, and the reason you're doing this is to make gold while still being at, and I got, let's see, I might as well do this last one. So there you go. The reason you want to do this is to still make gold while having 0% brave. And so what you do then is, of course, you go in here and you unequip all your salvager gems and equip them into your cautious items. And so this is why you might want to do it just like once a day. And you can also, I'll go over different like variations of it that you can just do to help you like hit other people. So basically, you do that. I'm gonna do autofill and see if it gives me back what I want. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't have to do much of anything. So, yeah. So you do that. Unequip your salvager gems. Place them in the slots. Of course, you can equip brave gems as well if you have extra. And then you place your troops in a temple or a low level city. You have someone that's either aggro and you know they're going to hit you, or someone that you contacted like through Discord, because this really is a team playing game and communication is part of the strategy. So you contact someone through Discord or whatever it is, and they snipe your troops. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a snipe. It could just be that they hate your troops, but maybe you wanted them to hit it to save it from someone else. So you coordinate with them. They hit your troops in that temple or like a low level city, and so you lose all your troops. They'll show up in battle reports right on the top here, and basically it just shows whatever troops were not saved by Brave or Fearless, and so you can buy them back later for sapphires. Now, what you want to do though is not be at a place where the like leveling wise where the attack that the person sent to you is going to level you up, because then you'd have to do this over again, because then you'd have more troops in your main. Realistically, what you want to do is drop down, and I don't know if, let's see, I'm trying to remember if there's a little thing somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it does not. Yeah, so right now it gives me 1% brave, so that's fine. I'd leave that 1%, and I wouldn't worry about it. So it would knock me down from 156 to 1.56 k KP, or K troops. And so that's what you want to do. And that'll massively drop your military power. So you're still staying at a high KP and making good production, but you are at a very low military power, so a lot less people can hit you. So let's say this is first day and you have all 90s because you're an active, more pay to win player and you have high salve and whatnot. So you have all 90s, and then you do this. So the only people that can hit you are people with that must be like level 67, maybe level 67 with a decent striker. And so those are the only people that can hit you. And now you have dropped your military power by a ton. And so even they might not be able to hit you. You might be demoed to them. And so then you just sit and recruit. And you don't have to like spec to recruit. You could just have like your base 400 recruit or whatever it is. And you then have your recruiter going for, your bubble time and then hours after. And then in the morning, all you do, or whenever you want to log in, all you do is you log in, you collect your idle recruit, you go into here, you collect your remaining, your troops, or realistically you have to buy them back. So it costs you maybe $5 or something. And so you do that, and then you go on with your day. But although you only get 25% back, I believe, then you made much more of it back through like idle recruiter. So you could do that. Now another way to exploit this is to, if you have someone that is high KP but is not having good troop retention, then you can use this strategy to drop your KP a little bit. You just unequip your cautious items, or you unequip your defense items, equip your cautious items, put however many troops you need to drop your military power so you can hit them in a low level city or temple. You have someone hit it, you run through them, run through the person that you're able to hit now because you dropped your military power. You then recollect your troops, and now you have the troops to defend, and you're a lot stronger than them in that area. So although like you might be 2 times experienced to them, you now have a lot more troops in that area, or that troops in whatever, and you can then hit them. And of course, obviously, you can use this to then, if you wanted to in the morning or whatnot, you wanted to relocate, you could just take a level 1 city far away, or wherever you want, nearby someone you want to hit. Like, let's say I wanted to hit this guy over here. So I could take this level 18 city, or level 4 city, sorry. If it lets me tap on it, goddamn. I could take this level 4 city, make it my main, go in here, collect my troops, and instantly attack this guy. Now, you can also use this, there's one other way to do this is have a clanmate attack a temple or a city, and then have your march land after theirs. And in between that time that their march is landed and your march is landing, you just change your main, and then it'll respawn your troops if you want to do this strategy. But like just moving your things, but that's not really related. It's just like a side note. So that's pretty much it. And of course, like when you're at a high KP, if you're doing this pay to win strat, you can also like run troop expeditions and whatnot to maximize that time that you're at a high KP and a low military power. So just something I wanted to cover with you guys. And I will be looking into like different strategies that are more like free to play. And again, you can kind of just do the same thing and almost more efficiently, because you don't have to worry about like hitting the lower person first. So it is like more profitable, but I do want to kind of have more like direct strategies based off of this update. And of course, I haven't seen Marauders around. They said they're coming out with that, but they haven't yet. So I haven't seen Marauders. I'm sure they'll do that eventually, but whatever. And yeah, that basically covers it. I'm going to do a few attacks, probably going to boost my KP before I bubble. So yeah, wish me luck, I guess. But yeah, if you won, just contact me on Discord. Then if you enjoyed this video or past videos or whatever, then feel free to like, comment, or subscribe if you're feeling extra generous. I am pretty close to 500 subscribers now, I believe, so it would mean a lot if I do reach that. I'm just going to check right now to make sure I didn't reach it already, and I'm just like retarded. I reached it already. Fuck. Guys, I reached 500 subscribers already. I'm actually at 507 right now, but yeah, I didn't even realize. So thank you guys for that. I do really appreciate it. I guess now I should be like, but I want to reach 750. Subscribe. But I do appreciate the 500, and I'm happy with that for now. It'll satiate me. But yeah, join my Discord server if you want to be kept up with promo codes, future giveaways, ask any questions there. A little bit of a like community where you can just talk random shit. I got some people on my server that are kind of annoying, so you might have to deal with that as well, but whatever. See you next time. Good luck with the new season, and I hope that that the strategy works out for you guys. You really do have to use it in a specific way to make it work most efficiently, but I'm sure you guys can handle that. So see you next time. Bye.